Hello again, everybody. It's Michael's Record Collection again, and I'm very happy to welcome to the program Renan Zonta. He is the lead singer for a new project called Skills. He's also with the Electric Mob and Brother Against Brother. Renan, thank you for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about Skills. This is a band with a new album out, came out May 13th on Frontiers Music called Different Worlds. And Skills lineup is just fantastic. You've got yourself on vocals, Brad Gillis of Night Ranger on guitar, Billy Sheehan from Mr. Big and the Winery Dogs and Sons of Apollo on bass, and David Huff from Giant on drums, with some help from Alessandro Del Vecchio, who's kind of, I guess he's kind of the go-to guy for Frontiers for getting stuff done. He kind of just does whatever is needed, but he does some keyboards and backing vocals here. And very exciting stuff. I mean, it must be great for you to just get that album out.
Yeah, what can I say? I think I'm living every young gun's dream, right? So it's more than honor. It's a pleasure to be with the guys and to talk with them. They're some of my rock and roll heroes, and I'm super grateful.
Yeah. Before we get really deep into this record, I want to go back in your past and find out what sort of started it all for you musically. Do you remember a moment or an album or a song that really kind of set you down the path when you were young?
Yeah, since I was born, I was surrounded with this musical environment. My father is a metalhead, and my mom is more into the AOR hard rock stuff. So I was always listening to Pantera and Metallica and Iron Maiden, and lots of Journey and Survivor and Chicago and things like that. So rock and roll is part of my history. And alongside with that, I always tried to play some instruments when I was a kid. Some Brazilian instruments, crazy type of stuff. But then when I discovered Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden, I was fascinated by the guitar, and I wanted to play guitar so much. I bothered my father every day so he could get me a cheap one so I could practice, and and when I was 14, I think, I started to sing, and then I left my guitar and became a professional screamer.
Okay. Do you remember what your first favorite album was?
I think I have two first favorite albums. It was Killers by Iron Maiden and Kiss MTV Unplugged.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you've always been in that sort of melodic hard rock world ever since you were, just starting out. You talked about your dad being a metalhead. What was your dad listening to? Was it Iron Maiden, or were there other things that he was into?
All the classics like Iron Maiden, Venom, Metallica, Megadeth, all those bands. And yeah, I was always into the metal stuff, but also the melodic stuff. So I guess I developed my singing voice because of the melodic stuff, but my taste for rock and roll music is from the heavy stuff.
Yeah. Where am I talking to you from today, or where are you talking to me from today? You're in your home country. You're in Brazil.
Yeah, I'm in Brazil. I'm at my hometown right now because Electric Mob will play here tomorrow. So I came earlier to enjoy my family and everything.
Yeah, I saw that you guys had some dates on the website, so I figured you guys were. Is it just doing a few shows, or is it like a middle of a full-fledged tour, or?
Yeah, this tour actually was supposed to happen 2 years ago, but because of the pandemics, we weren't able to do it. So now we're doing this small Brazilian tour, just to kick off stuff. And with the new album, we will go to the US and Europe and everything.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have had people tell me that are in European-based bands that one of the places in the world that has embraced them the most is the South American countries. Is melodic hard rock still very big in Brazil right now?
Yeah, totally. We don't have a lot of Brazilian melodic hard rock bands. We have like Spectra and Landfall, but we don't have that much of uh, hard rock bands here in Brazil. But we really dig it. So every time a hard rock act come to Brazil or South America, they're very welcome.
Yeah, I believe the Kiss's end of the road tour just came through South America.
Yeah, I was in that concert in Curitiba,
Oh,
and it was like mind blowing.
dream come true ever since you had the Kiss unplugged
Yeah,
MTV
yeah,
album.
totally, man. My eyes were like, oh my god.
Yeah. So I'm curious as to your choice to sing in English. Your English is obviously very, very good. Um, but being Brazilian, it begs the question, why not Portuguese? So what went into that decision making for you?
Yeah, let me see. I always wanted to do hard rock in Portuguese, but when we formed Electric Mob, we tried some stuff in Portuguese, and it didn't fit as well as we thought it could be. So we started to do things in English, and I'm very grateful for that, because if we were still singing in Portuguese, probably Frontiers would pass us. So I think English is the best way for us.
Okay. Um, how has the 2020 Electric Mob album Discharge been received so far? What kind of reviews are you getting? What kind of sales are you guys doing? You pretty happy with it?
Totally, I'm super happy, because we didn't expect it. Actually, we knew we had a great album and a great souvenir of what we do, but we didn't expect that much of welcoming from, especially the foreign. How can I say that in English? The foreign press, I think. and and yeah, we're super excited, especially with the new album. I think it's coming out late October, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, man, we're diving into it.
How's your deal with Frontiers for Electric Mob? Is it two albums, three albums,
5 albums.
5 albums? Okay,
Yeah,
good for you.
it's a long time.
Yeah, that's good. He's showing some investment in you there at Frontiers. Um, is this Skills album, it came out May 13th? Is this your first release since the Brother to Brother album that came out last June?
Yeah, yeah.
So you were on that with fellow Brazilian vocalist Nando Fernandes, and you guys did like a lot of duets. And it's a sort of a melodic metal album. And I got a chance to look at that and give that a listen, and it's all very good. And it just seems like Frontiers Serafino has just the right ear for putting the right people together.
Yeah, he know what he's doing.
That's good. That's good. Since it's your label, you want that.
Yeah, totally. I'm getting super happy with that, because I'm getting to sing a lot of stuff that I don't usually sing, like heavy metal and melodic hard rock. Because in Electric Mob, I do all of that stuff kind of mixed together. The heavy stuff and the melodic stuff, and the growling and the gritty vocals, the blues rock thing. But I never had the chance of being on a project of strictly melodic hard rock or heavy metal or anything like that. So yeah, that's awesome. For a singer, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So Serafino, he kind of had the idea to get you guys together for Skills. But how did that come together? Did he start with you, or did he start with a list of these are the people I want to see playing together, and just to see what this formula comes up with? How did that work?
Yeah, I think it was mid 2020, and he sent me a message saying, how about you fronting this new super group with some big names involved, AOR, melodic rock? And I was like kind of skeptical and hesitating a bit because I was in the beginning of the writing process for Electric Mob new album.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to, mix things, and I didn't want to spoil anything. So I was kind of hesitating, but as I said, okay, let me see what you got, and let's talk a bit more about it. And a few days later, he mailed me saying that Brad, Billy, and David were on board, and I was like, holy shit, I gotta do it. and that was pretty much it.
Yeah. He's like, well, he said they were big names, and then you got the names, and it's like, wow.
Right.
he was telling the truth there. So is this one of those deals from Frontiers where everybody kind of recorded in their home studio, everybody sent files back and forth? Is that how it came together?
Unfortunately, yes, because we weren't able to catch up in person. I couldn't apply for a visa to get to be in the United States, and we had to do it all separately. But I think it went great. I recorded my vocals in my hometown in Brazil with my buddy Mauricio Baza. He produced my vocals for the album, and I think we did a great job. Hopefully, if there's another one on the way, hopefully we can do it in a band style all together in the same studio, same room. Yeah. And yeah, that's what I want.
Tell me about the songwriting process for the Different Worlds album. This is you. Alessandro was involved. Who else contributed to the songwriting for these tracks?
We collaborate a lot. Alessandro, he's a fucking machine. He writes so much stuff and so much great stuff. And he sent me a lot of demos with lyrics and melodies and everything. And some of them weren't finished. So I gave my inputs and wrote melodies and lyrics for I think three songs in the album, I think. And yeah, lots of songwriters involved, lots of very talented people, and you can see the result with the album.
Yeah. How long did it take for this whole thing to come together from start to, till the time you put the album to bed?
I think 6 months maybe, because most of the songs were finished. So I just entered the studio and did my stuff. But I think, yeah, from the beginning till the masters, I think 6 months.
Yeah. So you got music files that you sang to, once they were sort of, at least roughly drawn out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How did you manage to go in and record vocals over these things, just hearing, like, for example, what Brad was doing? He's just, this is another great Brad Gillis album.
Yeah. First of all, I was very, very nervous because I had to deliver. All eyes on me because I'm the nobody in this band. So I had to do my best to fill these shoes, as a frontman for such big names. Mm-hmm. But I'm very happy with what I did. And I was very true to myself, to my singing and to my soul. So I'm all about that, the real thing, real voice and real rock and roll, real representation of what I am. Mm-hmm. I just did it.
What was the hardest part that you had to do for this album? I know that on the closing track, "Don't Break My Heart," starts out with this great Brad Gillis riff, and then you let out this really high sort of vocal wail at the beginning and before the song softens up for the verse. But I thought, man, that sounds like that one was a tough day in the studio.
No, actually, I'm pretty used to it. I love to scream, so that's what I do. That's what I do best. But I think the most difficult thing was to not over-sing the parts, and respect the music and let the music do the talking, and not that much of show off. And I think that was the difficult thing of doing the vocals.
Was that kind of it almost seems like the opposite of Brother Against Brother, where kind of Serafino probably wanted you guys to show off a little bit with those vocals.
Yeah, actually, I did my session on Brother Against Brother, and the label got back like, do more. go over the top with this. And I was like, okay, let me do it.
Yeah, bigger. So you guys put out, I think, 3 singles. I think the third one might have dropped when the album dropped, but "Blame It on the Night" was one, and "Stop the World" was one, and "Just When I Needed You" was one. And that one is a power ballad. Had you done much singing on ballads before?
Not recording, but when I'm home with my guitar, I always do power ballads. I love them, especially the Whitesnake ones. So I was kind of in my zone doing it, but I'm not really used to record power ballads because I'm not that kind of songwriter. I don't do that much ballads, but I love to sing ballads.
Mm-hmm. Were there any songs that were worked on that just didn't quite make the cut in the end? Were, like some extra tracks laying around afterwards?
Actually, no. When Alessandro sent me the tracks, he sent me the whole bunch, and I asked him, every song that you send me will be in the album, and he said yes. So I'm sure there's some songs that didn't fit the album, but I didn't listen to them.
Okay. Do you have a favorite song on this album?
I have 2. "Blame It on the Night." I think it's a kick-ass tune. Very Talas, Mr. Big thing. And what's the name of the song? So much. "Losing the Track." I love this song. Okay. I think it's so powerful and meaningful. Lyrics are great and the melodies are killer.
It's ironic to me that you had to take a minute to remember the song name for "Losing the Track." It kind of
yeah. Jokes on me.
funny how that works. You lost the track there for a minute.
I'm doing so much right now with Electric Mob and Skills and Brother Against Brother and everything in between, so I can remember all the tracks.
Yeah, well, as long as you remember the lyrics when you're up there singing them, that's all that matters, really.
Yeah.
So 11 songs on this album. Were there any that you weren't quite sure about when you got, but they ended up working out okay in the end?
Sorry?
Were there any of these songs that when you first heard them, you thought, I'm not sure about this, but then it turned out that the song ended up okay for you?
Yeah. I won't put names in the table, but there were some songs that at first hearing I was, that's not much my tune, my song, my vibe. But I think it was just because it was another one singing.
Yeah.
And when I sang them in studio, I was like, oh, that's okay. That sounds great. And let's keep with that.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to have the right person putting it together. I can't speak highly enough about this album. As soon as I saw the lineup, I knew it was going to be really good. And this is a terrific melodic rock album. And all the songs are fairly accessible, but they're, when you hear what you do, what Brad does, David, Billy, everything really works well together. Is there any chance? I know these Frontiers projects kind of sometimes they get thrown together to see if it works before you really figure out if it's going to be, more heavily invested in. Is there any chance that there will be live skills shows?
There's always a chance. We talked a bit about it, but it all depends on what we will be doing in the future. Because Billy has a gazillion bands, and he's always touring, and Brad as well, and David with all his producing stuff, and Giant and everything, and me with Electric Mob. So we don't know what the future holds, but there's always a chance of this happening, in the near future. Let's see what the future holds, and let's see what people thinks about the record, and if it's gonna happen or not.
I had a great idea today. I don't know if it's been thought of by someone else, but I think Serafino should do a Frontiers music cruise and bring all of these artists together, and you guys can finally play these albums live that that Frontiers puts out these great albums, but a lot of them never get any live play because everybody's in 5 or 6 different bands. So I think it'd be great if you just put a cruise together, and then you guys, one night you'd be with Brother Against Brother, another night you'd be with Skills. I think it would do really well.
It will be awesome. Awesome.
Well, you can bring that idea to Serafino, and then if he goes for it, just let him know. My fee would just be a free cruise ticket.
Yeah, I'll text him.
All right, sounds good. So I'm just amazed that any of you guys get any of this stuff done, because when I saw the names involved, I mean, Brad, Night Ranger just put out a new album. They've been touring that. Billy's been busy with stuff. Giant had an album out recently. You guys are pushing, your album and working on a new one. It's incredible to me that you guys have time to stop or not stop, but to find the time to record for other projects. It's just, you guys must love being busy all the time.
Yeah. Pandemic really messed our heads. And I think to have the opportunity of working with as much people we can, I think it's the best way to, stay sane and stay healthy, because being 2 years at home were horrible.
Yeah,
it was horrible. And now we're getting the chance to, get back on stage again, on the road, and to meet with people again, and that's awesome. And to be part of that, of those projects, it's like you said, we like being busy, and being busy, it's what make a musician even better. So I think that's the right way.
Yeah, I know. I mean, because we think as music fans, we think, it's been 2 years. I'm just glad I get to go to concerts again. I'm glad I get to, spend money to see great music performed live and see my favorite bands in person. But it's hard to put yourself in the shoes of the artist and thinking that they just lost 2 years worth of revenue. They had to put albums on hold because, they couldn't tour them and things like that. It just must be 10 times. It must have been 10 times worse for musicians than it was for people who like to go to shows and listen to music.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned new Electric Mob. What is that? That's next for you in terms of releases? That's what you got next coming out?
Yeah, as soon as this Brazilian tour is over, we will focus on the releasing of the new album. I think the first single will be out July this year, and then I think two more singles in between, and then the album. I think September or October. I'm not sure about it, but yeah, we're really excited with this new one. It's heavier and grittier, and with a lot of new pop stuff in between. So it's a crazy record, and we're really excited to release it.
Oh, that sounds good. Do you have plans to do a follow up with Brother Against Brother?
I think it will happen soon. We're talking, Label and Nando and me. We're talking about doing another one, maybe next year. I don't know. Like I said, let's see.
Yeah, lots going on. What are you listening to now? What's sort of capturing your imagination in the music scene?
I'm listening a lot of Ghost right now.
Okay.
Ghost was a band that I, didn't care that much in the beginning, because I was like every metalhead in the world. I was like, oh, they look very, very hardcore. But when you listen to them, it's like a mix of King Diamond and ABBA. So it's a bit weird, but I'm loving what they are putting out, and I'm listening a lot of Ghost and a lot of new prog metal bands like Tesseract
Okay.
and Animals as Leaders, and those crazy shit.
Yeah, that's great. Where does your prog metal love come from? Do you know?
I love the classics. Yes. I love Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I love King Crimson. I think it came from that.
Yeah. All right, that sounds great. So I don't know what is considered successful these days for an album like the new Skills album. What's successful in terms of record sales or sort of critical acclaim? How do you measure that success?
That's not easy to answer, because we have a lot of measures right
Mhm.
now. We have album sales, we have DSPs, we have YouTube views, we have now we are back in with the gigs. So I think success is when you put your feet on the road and you gather a lot of people to see you. And I think that's the kind of success that I'm reaching right now, to tour a lot and to see full packed houses. And when you do that, I think you're successful.
All right, so I don't know much about this, but I definitely wanted to ask you about it. You were on, as I understand it, The Voice Brazil.
Yeah.
How did that go for you?
It changed my whole life, because when I entered the show, I was just a farm boy singer from a small town in Brazil, and nobody knew me at all. And I came to the show and to the stage, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna sing of rock and roll music right now. It's called my name is Renan, and I'm gonna sing some AC/DC for you. Thank you. Very shy, and I didn't know what to expect. But as soon as I was on the show, everybody sent me so much love and so much support that I wasn't expecting at all. And it changed my whole life and my whole perspective of what is to be an an artist, professional artist, you know. And since then, I'm trying my best to, you know, please people with my voice.
Mm-hmm. Is that how Serafino found you, or did he find you through Electric Mob?
Through Electric Mob.
Mm-hmm.
We were about to release a second EP, totally independent, and we sent some emails, and we sent the same email to Frontiers with our songs and our videos and you know, a briefing of the band, and they answered back right away, saying, "Hey guys, do you want to make this new EP a full album? Do you want to release 5 more albums with us? Do you want to be rock stars?" And you know, all of that, and that was pretty much it, man.
Yeah. Did you, when you finished The Voice, did you have, you know, people from all over the country asking you to come sing for their band and things like that?
Still to this day.
Yeah, still open. Those doors are wide open now for you, huh?
I get that a lot. Every day when I'm on Instagram, there's a new dude calling me to sing in this new super rock and roll band that's gonna break all the rules and, you know, be super successful. And I'm like, okay, dude, thanks, but I have my own band.
There you go. Forgive me, I don't know how far you got on the show. I don't even watch The Voice here in the United States, let alone in other countries. How far did you make it in the show?
I went to the quarterfinals, but I was asked to participate in the finals as a guest.
Okay, great. Well, congratulations on that. That's something.
Thank you, man.
How did you know Nando very well before you guys started Brother Against Brother?
I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of Nando. I watched a lot of shows with his older bands, and he didn't know me at all since we started to talk about this project, Brother Against Brother, and we became really good friends. Actually, Electric Mob played in São Paulo 2 weeks ago, and he was there, and it was really nice to catch up with him, and we had a blast together. Nando is famous in Brazil as the Brazilian Dio.
Okay, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
All right, so Skills. We don't know if there's going to be live shows. We do know that the album Different Worlds is out. You can pick it up digitally. You can get it on CD. If you go to the Frontiers web shop, they have an exclusive white marble vinyl LP version. Has Serafino sent you any of these physical products, or do you got to buy them?
I hope he sent me some.
All right, Serafino, got to send those out, buddy. That's great. Have you been able to? I know you guys recorded separately, but have you met any of your bandmates in person for Skills? Have you been in the same room? No.
No, the guys, yes, but not me with them. No.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, Renan Zonta, I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you talking to me about this album. I wish you nothing but success with this. I hope that you guys get to perform this music live at some point. It's really good. You guys can check it out on you know, all the streaming sites have it now, and you can, you know, go and sample it, but buy the product, help the band out, support the band, and you know, best of luck to you, Renan. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me anytime. Just give me a call.